Hi friends, imagine situation, end of the world, zombie apocalypse. Everybody's dead, only you survived. And you are walking searching for food and suddenly you find film, more film. And just you remembered that you was a photographer one day. And it's a bad that you don't have a camera with you. And now I will talk about film photography when you don't need electricity. Imagine you want to go to island without people for living for several years and you don't have electricity, or you want to go around the globe with your boat where there is no electricity. And now I will show you some cameras. It's much more cameras, but I will show you mine. Here is Nikon F or F1, Nikon F2, Nikon FM2, the same FM2 and FM3. All these cameras you can shoot without battery. Yes, they have batteries, but they are only for exposure, for meter here. For example, this is F1 Nikon camera. I will try to show you where is the battery hidden. Not so easy. Here is batteries, and it's helping. They are showing the right exposure for you. Here are like arrow. It's going like this one, and when in the middle, where is a little dot. When it's in the middle, it's a right exposure. But all shutter are mechanical. It's working by winding this stuff, and it's working fine without battery. The same Nikon F2 is the same. Here is battery only for exposure. For meter here, it's working without it perfectly. Mechanical shutter. You can do everything without it. And the most cheapest variant is FM1. This is FM2s, but you can find cheaper FM1, or just this. It's written FM. The main difference is faster shutter speed. On FM first version it's 1000 second, and here is 4000 of a second. I just sold them, and for me right now is two FM2s. They are like cult cameras. Nikon produced them very like big count, and it's cheap to find them. If you can't afford FM2, just search for FM1 or FM. Here is the same. Here is battery, but battery only for exposure and metering. I will try. It's how. Oh, I will try to show you. You can see this red minus, and you can see if exposure is good. It's like in the middle. It have like a dot, red dot, and without battery it's working the same, but not showing this red info. But all shutter are mechanical. The same is here. But if you can afford, better is to buy Nikon FM3. Why? Because when Nikon was producing FM2s, they have a serious FA. FA1 and FA2. They are fully electronical. Batteries are working with a shutter. Without battery, you have only one shutter speed in manual mode. But here they put these both models in one. Here is battery too, and when you're using battery, it's working in automatical mode. It's calculating the shutter speed, and you can shoot electronically using the battery. But when you're using your camera in manual mode, then shutter is in mechanical. It's not using the batteries. Batteries only for exposure. It is like end of this era. They put both ideas in one camera, mechanical and electronical, and it is quite expensive. Like, I bought it for $500 or euros, but right now it's 6 or 8, or sometimes with the lens it can go beyond 1,000 euros. But it's worth. I like this camera the most, but I don't like to use it very often because I was lucky to buy it in very good shape. But the next question, what is the biggest difference between F and F2 and these FM models? This was like professional, for professional use, for reporters, for weddings, for portraits. They are bulky cameras because the feature was this viewfinders, which you can choose and switch different ones for different lenses and different purposes. They are big, heavy. If you want to travel in extreme condition with cameras that don't use batteries, my advice to use F2 because F1 it can easily break, and they're heavy. They're heavy and not so comfortable to use to walk. But sometimes you can buy for a good price this F1, for example. But for it is more robust. You can use it much longer. The parts are better because it's professional. But these cameras was more popular like this because they're smaller, lighter, and for a lot of people you don't need to use these changeable viewfinders which add more weight. And these cameras are small and very comfortable. But now is the next question: what about metering? When you walk around, you don't have a battery. There's one trick. If you can't buy new ones, or it will be very high price, you can buy right now new one exponometer which not using batteries. It's based on chemical and there's no place for batteries. I will show how to use it. For example, I press this button, measure the light. I will put like it's here. I take off my finger, and here is 320. I set up the red arrow here to my measurements, and I need to set up this number on a black arrow. Here's 320 20 to this black, and now here I can read my measurements. If I want to shoot on f4, I need to put my shutter speed 1/125 second, or for example, if I will shoot f8, I need 1/30 seconds. I bought it like 7 years ago. It's still working. I was testing with a electronical light meter and it working perfectly. It's Sekonic L398A or Sekonic Deluxe Studio Deluxe 3. I love this. You can just grab it and you know it's working. The batteries are not dead because it's not working of batteries. For example, right now I take my cameras. They was lying on a shelf, and here batteries are dead. I need to replace them to shoot with exponometer, but sometimes these exponometers are not so perfect, and you need to be careful. Okay, here is interesting setup. If you have a lot of money, you can buy FM3. If you have less, FM2. It's very popular because of its mechanical shutter. If you want something bulky and not so expensive, F1. Or if you will go to some extreme photo shoots, extreme weather conditions, you can try to find F2. F3 is like with autofocus, is the first camera and it's using electricity. But here you can see like 5 cameras from Nikon which are not using the batteries, or at least they can work without batteries. My favorite is this one because it's small, easy to work, it have auto modes and without batteries, fully working with mechanical shutter. Okay, thanks.